Have you ever wondered why the British monarchy maintains a fleet of luxury vehicles, including an antiquated train and now 2 new helicopters? Well, let's delve into this intriguing tale of 2 modes of transport. For many decades, the Royal Train has held a significant place in the annals of British history. It's been an emblem of tradition, a symbol of continuity, and has often been hailed as a sustainable mode of transport. With its plush interiors and vintage charm, it's been the royal choice for travel, ferrying monarchs across the length and breadth of the United Kingdom, all at the expense of the British taxpayer. But in a surprising twist, we find King Charles now in possession of not 1 but 2 shiny new helicopters. These flying behemoths, equipped with all the luxury and modern amenities you can imagine, are the latest additions to the royal fleet. And they didn't come cheap. These state-of-the-art machines, with their maintenance and crew, cost the Exchequer millions, adding to the already hefty royal travel expenses. So, what happened to the so-called indispensability of the royal train? If it was indeed as crucial as it was made out to be, why the sudden need for helicopters? Does this signal a shift in royal preferences, or is it a strategic move towards modernisation? And more importantly, who foots the bill for these royal whims and fancies? Let's take a moment here to reflect on the bigger picture. We live in times when public services are underfunded, and ordinary Brits are being asked to tighten their belts. Yet, it seems the king gets to fly high above the rest of us, in more ways than one. So here we are, caught in a tale of 2 modes, one steeped in tradition, the other a symbol of extravagance. And while we ponder over the necessity of these modes of transport, one question continues to loom large: is this a necessary upgrade or an expensive indulgence? Now, let's delve into the nitty-gritty, the costs involved in maintaining these royal modes of transport. First up, the new helicopters. The purchase price alone is believed to be in the millions, though the exact figure is shrouded in secrecy. But the costs don't stop there. Helicopters are not like cars. They require highly skilled pilots and a dedicated maintenance team. The crew's salaries, the upkeep, and the inevitable repairs all add up to more millions each year. And here's the kicker. These helicopters are not replacing the royal train. They're an addition. The train, a relic from another era, continues to chug along, eating up millions in maintenance and operation costs. Remember, this isn't a regular train. Its carriages are custom-built with luxuries that would make even the most seasoned traveller blush. And the cost of keeping this train on the rails, you guessed it, more millions from the public purse. So, let's take a step back and consider the big picture. We have a royal train and not 1 but 2 royal helicopters, each with its own set of costs, each funded by the taxpayers, each symbolising a level of extravagance that seems out of touch with the realities of the everyday Briton. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not about begrudging the royal family their comforts. After all, they have a role to play and duties to perform. But when the costs keep mounting, when the millions keep piling up, it's only natural to question whether this is the best use of public funds, especially when we consider the many areas in dire need of investment: schools, hospitals, infrastructure, all areas that could do with a cash injection. Yet, here we are, discussing millions spent on royal transportation. It seems the tab for royal transportation is running quite high, doesn't it? While royal expenditure soars, let's glance at the state of public services in the country. It's no secret that public services in the UK have been under significant strain for years. From the NHS to education to social services to public transportation, funding has been repeatedly squeezed, stretched and slashed. And yet, the royal family's budget continues to balloon. Why are we, the taxpayers, asked to tighten our belts to make do with less, while millions are poured into maintaining the royal train and now into the operation of 2 luxury helicopters? The juxtaposition is stark and, quite frankly, unsettling. The average Brit is facing increasing living costs, stagnant wages, and a precarious job market. Many are struggling just to keep a roof over their heads, to put food on the table, to afford basic necessities. And yet our hard-earned money is being used to fund the royal family's extravagant travel arrangements. Is it fair for the king to whiz around in helicopters, while his subjects are forced to contend with overcrowded buses and trains? Is it fair for millions to be spent on royal transportation, while schools are underfunded, hospital waiting lists grow longer, and social services are stretched to breaking point? The monarchy might argue that these expenses are necessary for the functioning of the institution. However, one must ask, at what cost? Is the preservation of tradition and the comfort of the royals more important than the well-being of the people? The royal family has a duty to serve the nation, not to live in opulence at the expense of the citizens. The monarchy needs to be held accountable for its spending, and the misuse of public funds should not be tolerated. The message is clear. The people are tired. Tired of underfunded public services, tired of economic struggles, and most of all, tired of footing the bill for the royal family's luxury lifestyle. Does it seem fair for the king to live a life of luxury while his subjects tighten their belts? It's high time for a change, don't you think? It's time to question the narrative. Is this about duty or is it about indulgence? Let's take a closer look at the justifications provided for the royal train and the new helicopters. For years we've been told that the royal train was essential. It was a symbol of tradition, a beacon of sustainability, and a necessary measure for security. Yet the cost of maintaining this tradition has always been shouldered by the British taxpayers, with millions spent each year on its upkeep and travel costs. Then, in a surprising twist, King Charles and his entourage acquired not one but 2 luxury helicopters. With these new arrivals, the need for the royal train seems to be diminishing. But if the train was so vital, then why the sudden shift towards these airborne chariots of luxury? And let's not forget about the cost. These new helicopters, complete with their ongoing maintenance and crew, come with a hefty price tag. Yet again, this cost is expected to fall onto the British public, who are simultaneously being told to tighten their belts and weather the storm of underfunded public services. So we're left with a question. Are these modes of transport necessary for the functioning of the monarchy, or are they just symbols of privilege? Are they about serving the people, or are they more about serving the monarchy? The truth is becoming increasingly clear. This isn't about duty, it's about indulgence. It's about preserving privilege under the disguise of monarchy. The train, the helicopters, the palaces, they all serve as reminders of this privilege, this entitlement that seems to be inherent in the monarchy. When we peel back the layers, what we see is a misuse of public funds, a mismanagement of resources, and a monarchy-level entitlement that doesn't align with the realities of the public they're supposed to serve. When the lines blur between duty and indulgence, it's the taxpayers who bear the burden. Now that we've laid out the facts, what do you think? We've journeyed through the recent acquisition of 2 royal helicopters, the ongoing hefty maintenance of the royal train, and the glaring disparity between these expenditures and the funding of public services. It's a complex tapestry of tradition, privilege, and fiscal responsibility. The royal train, once touted as the epitome of security and sustainability, appears to be becoming redundant. Yet its existence continues to drain public funds. Simultaneously, the introduction of 2 luxury helicopters adds to the royal travel costs, escalating the burden on the taxpayer. So, we must ask, is this modernisation or a mismanaged allocation of resources? We've seen how public services, vital to everyday Britons, are underfunded, while the cost of maintaining a royal extravagance continues to skyrocket. It prompts us to question whether these funds could be better utilised elsewhere. Could they potentially benefit those who are asked to tighten their belts while the monarchy seemingly loosens its own? And then there's the question of necessity. If the royal train is still vital, why the need for helicopters? If it's not, why not decommission it? These are questions that need answers. This isn't about undermining the monarchy. It's about transparency and accountability. It's about understanding where public money is being spent and if it truly serves the people. We've heard the arguments of duty, tradition, and security. But is it time to reassess these notions? Is it time to question if these expenditures are really in service of the nation or if they're merely preserving privilege? So we come to the crux of the matter. Should taxpayers still be funding royal helicopters and trains while the cost of living skyrockets? We invite you to reflect on these questions. Let's engage in a thoughtful dialogue about the balance of tradition and modernity, privilege and duty, expenditure and necessity. We'd love to hear your thoughts.